Well, I don't. See, one thing about something, the ghetto is colorblind on a sense. If you really from the ghetto and you really doing those things you rapping about, you talking about, I can respect that.
Right.
If somebody else writing your rhymes, somebody else is you telling somebody else's story, that really don't mean nothing to me.
Everybody running.
What do you think of Eminem? Is that what do you think of white rap?
I think like if there's a reason for me to burn a bridge, then I obviously don't want to speak to you ever in my life, you know? So it's like, if I feel a certain way, then I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna express it.
Just lights the cigar, and it's the about Suge. He light the cigar, and he trying to see what you gonna do. So Eminem, 50, everybody outside, light the cigar. I was bugging because I seen, this is when I knew Eminem was real. He's like, don't give a man. This is when I knew, I'm like, damn, Eminem is a real.
He's from Detroit. He's from Detroit, man. He's from 8 Mile, bro. And I don't know, 20, 30 minutes ago, we talked about all his. So, yeah, of course, M was ready to go. He was ready to go.
He came, it was like, Suge's outside. Suge's outside. Everybody like, he was running, dropping. I'm like, man, everybody going, I'm in front of the camera like this.
Welcome back to Fame Flux, where the truth behind fame gets exposed. An old Eminem diss track aimed at Suge Knight has suddenly resurfaced online, and it's reigniting serious buzz across hip-hop circles. The timing couldn't be more explosive, and now 50 Cent is stepping in to drop some insider knowledge about how Eminem stood firm when others wouldn't even speak Suge's name.
Roughed one of my bodyguards up, they roughed everybody else and my whole entourage up. Suge took me out on the balcony, started talking to me personally.
On the balcony?
On the balcony.
High above?
Like 15 floors. He had me look over the edge, show me how high I was up there.
You scared?
I needed to wear a diaper on that day.
If you know anything about Suge Knight, you know his reputation in the 90s had rappers shaking. We're talking about someone who built an entire legacy on fear, power moves, and raw intimidation. This is the same man who allegedly hung Vanilla Ice over a hotel balcony, threatening to drop him just to send a message. Suge's reputation wasn't just street level, it cast a shadow over the entire rap industry. Stories about his violent tendencies and unpredictable behavior were everywhere. But according to 50 Cent, Eminem wasn't fazed at all. While most artists played it safe, Eminem was reportedly ready to face Suge head-on, if it ever came to that. Even more shocking, Eminem apparently believed Suge had a hand in setting up Tupac, a rapper Eminem deeply respected. That belief added fuel to the fire and reportedly pushed M to prepare for any confrontation, verbal or physical, with Suge. So what exactly did Eminem say about Suge in that resurfaced diss? And what was it about Suge's legacy that made Eminem call him out without hesitation?
He don't do no wrong in my eyes. Like, he can do something wrong right now and I can't see it.
He's one of my best friends. Like I can't pick a moment that he wasn't in my corner.
Right now, there'll be guys at home and go, oh, 50 just loves Eminem so much. Yeah, love him to death. I do, I love him to death.
Most importantly, why did 50 say M wasn't scared of one of the most feared figures in hip-hop history? An unreleased old-school Eminem diss track has just surfaced, and it's targeting none other than Suge Knight and Ja Rule. The track, titled Smack You, is believed to have been recorded in the mid-2000s, which lines up perfectly with the height of the 50 Cent and Ja Rule feud, one of the most intense rivalries in hip-hop history. Back then, Eminem was known for backing his team without hesitation, so throwing shots at Ja Rule wasn't a surprise. He was loyal to 50, and whenever things got heated, Eminem was right there adding fuel to the fire. But what caught everyone off guard was the bold approach Eminem took against Suge Knight, a figure most rappers avoided entirely. This wasn't just a few slick lines or industry shade. Eminem went all in, and what he said on this track was chilling. He openly blamed Suge for playing a role in the deaths of two of the most legendary artists in hip-hop. Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G. Eminem raps on the track, "I'm holding Suge responsible for the deaths of the two greatest rappers to ever grace the face of this planet."
Yes, a lot of people that want to do like songs with Pac, and a lot of people,
Some people even did some with Pac, and they never. There was only one Tupac project that ever flopped before, and that's the one Eminem did on Unreleased. All the rest of them were successful.
If only the late great Mr. Christopher Wallace could talk, he could tell you himself. He didn't stop there. Eminem also went in on Ja Rule, accusing him of trying to cling to Suge for protection and clout, spitting, begging Suge to get him to follow you to all the clubs, but you're too dumb to see that your publishing's all he wants, thinking you friends till he gets it, and you're the next rapper sitting on the passenger side of that Benz that gets hit again, and LAPD will be saying, "Who did this ish?" Again, knowing who did it, but still nobody admits it. But if I get kicked for this ish, I know who did it. The Resurfaced track isn't just aggressive, it's a full-on verbal warning. With accusations like that, it's no wonder this track was never released back then. But now that it's out, it's reigniting major debates about hip-hop's darkest chapters. Smack You is just one of several unreleased Eminem tracks that recently leaked online, and fans are calling it a major win. The drop included collaborations with hip-hop heavyweights like 50 Cent, Nate Dogg, Anderson.Paak, Westside Boogie, and Slaughterhouse. But what really has people talking is the timing, because these tracks, including the Suge Knight diss, came out shortly after Suge took shots at Eminem on his prison-based podcast, Collect Call with Suge Knight. During one of the podcast episodes, Suge didn't hold back. He vented about how many people have tried to profit off Tupac's legacy since his death, and Eminem's name came up directly in that criticism.
This is why I always respected Eminem, 50, and niggas that was with us. So Suge came, he had some Mexican niggas. Now, we from New York. You ain't never seen a nigga with a tattoo on his forehead. 118th Street crew. I'm like, what the f***? Got a tattoo on his face, homie. That's the first time, like, before Lil Wayne and all that. That's the first time I see a nigga with, like, tattoo on his eyes. Mexican, 18th Street. So Suge just got the cigar. He just like that. He's like a pressure guy. That's why he got into lately, because he's like a pull up, light a cigar, and you see him with tattoos on their face, but we like, damn, what we got to lose? If we don't pop now, we going back to the hood. It's back to the hood. So it's like, fight these Mexican blood. Things got the shit on their forehead, eyes, 118th. Or go back home to the crib. Might as well go all out, fight right here. We around Dr. Dre, so it's like, yo, we gotta do what we gotta do.
So what happened? He lights the cigar, and then
he just lights the cigar, and it's the shit about Suge. He light the cigar, and he trying to see what you gonna do. So Eminem, 50, everybody outside, you light the cigar. I was bugging because I seen this is when I knew Eminem was real. He's like, I don't give a f, man. This is when I knew. I'm like, damn, Eminem is a real. These niggas, 50 niggas outside. What's up? And then Suge just walked away. The Mexican niggas looked kind of confused, like they didn't know what was going on. But came outside. Eminem came outside 100%.
Oh, what did I miss? Okay.
And Eminem was like, yo, I don't give a f, man.
Suge pointed to a specific posthumous Tupac album that he claims didn't live up to the late rapper's standards. He blamed Eminem, saying that his production on the project was the only true flop in Tupac's entire catalog. Suge's comments were focused on Loyal to the Game, Tupac's fifth posthumous studio album, which Eminem produced entirely. The project was built using remixed vocals from unreleased Tupac sessions recorded before his passing in 1996. And while some fans appreciated the modern sound, Suge argued it did more harm than good to Tupac's legacy.
He came, it was like, Suge's outside! Suge's outside! Everybody like, he was running, dropping, like, man, everybody going, I'm in front of the camera like this. Everybody like, whoa, running.
He claimed Eminem altered Tupac's voice too much and changed the original vibe of the tracks, turning what should have been a timeless tribute into something that felt off-brand and disconnected. According to Suge, the album should have never been released in the first place, and he's made it clear that M's involvement was, in his view, a major misstep. So now, with these new Eminem leaks surfacing, including one that directly calls out Suge Knight, the situation is heating up again. The tension between old-school West Coast history and the newer era Eminem helped define is back in the spotlight, and fans are watching closely to see what comes next. Despite Suge Knight labeling Loyal to the Game a flop, a large portion of Tupac's loyal fan base actually embraced the project. Many felt that Eminem brought a fresh perspective to the posthumous release, adding a modern production style that still honored Tupac's message and core essence.
So I ran inside like, yo, Suge outside. What you want me to do, blow his head off? Because my Connecticut was there too, my Dream. Shout out to my Dream. He do security for Fab right now. So if I'm lying, y'all can have Dream, First Family, and my Big Vic. So I runs inside like, yo, Suge outside. What you want me to do, blow his head off? Because I already know if I blow Suge head off, I'm playing like I was scared for my life. Because remember, Suge had that image already. So I know if I killed him, I would have did like 5 years. That's nothing, and I would have been played like I was scared for my life. This Suge Knight. I'm like, yo, Fifth, you want me to blow this head off? He like, nah. Started laughing. He said, just hold it down. So I picked up a big 2x4. About to run outside. He's like, nah, put that shit on switch. So I go back outside. You know, I get hype. I'm a hyper. So I'm like, yo, Suge, what's poppin'? He blowing on a cigar. Took like 3 pulls, blew that shit in the air, dropped the cigar on the floor, then stepped on it. Them little Mexicans are scared. They see all these New York goons, we throwing shit up like what's poppin'. They don't even know, like, we ready. Oh yeah, Eminem came back with the vest. Yeah, Eminem was outside with it. Shout out to Eminem. Dre wasn't outside, 50 wasn't outside, but Eminem was outside.
While the album may have divided critics, there's no doubt it struck a chord with plenty of listeners who appreciated the updated sound. Now, fans are flipping the script and saying Suge's criticism has less to do with the music and more to do with ego. The theory circulating? Suge is still bitter that Eminem wasn't one of the many rappers he managed to intimidate back in the day. Suge's presence used to shake entire rooms, but Eminem reportedly never flinched, and that resistance still stings for Suge. In case you're not familiar with their history, there was serious tension between Eminem and Suge over the years. According to G-Unit member Tony Yayo, things almost got physical between them. Yayo recalled one moment in particular that proved just how serious things got, and how fearless Eminem really was. The situation unfolded in the early 2000s during the filming of 50 Cent's Indie Club video in Los Angeles. That's when Suge Knight reportedly pulled up on set, rolling deep with a crew of Mexican gang affiliates and clearly looking to start something. The energy shifted immediately, and chaos started to build the moment Suge arrived. People on the set were visibly shaken, unsure what was about to go down. But Eminem? He didn't budge. According to Yayo, M was ready to go toe-to-toe right then and there if it came to it. That moment stood out, not just because of the threat, but because Eminem's reaction showed he wasn't afraid of anyone, not even Suge Knight. Tony Yayo also shared that Eminem's late childhood friend, Deshaun Holton, better known as Proof, had once accused Suge Knight of orchestrating Tupac's death. Apparently, Eminem held that same belief, which only fueled the tension between him and Suge even more over the years. This story about Eminem squaring up to Suge wasn't just hearsay. It was later confirmed by multiple eyewitnesses who were on set that day. Even 50 Cent recalled the exact moment Suge pulled up to the video shoot, describing how the entire crew scattered like they had seen a boogeyman. But Eminem didn't move an inch. Another former G-Unit affiliate, Bang M Smurf, also backed up the story during an Instagram live session. He shared that Eminem didn't just stand his ground, he was prepared for anything. According to Smurf, M even put on a bulletproof vest before stepping out to confront Suge face-to-face, while 50 Cent and Dr. Dre decided it was safer to stay inside the building. But circling back to that Eminem diss track that just leaked, Smack You, it raised a lot of questions about what Eminem really believes. Did he truly hold Suge responsible for the deaths of both Tupac and Biggie? The answer isn't so simple. On Smack You, Eminem definitely points fingers directly at Suge, blaming him for playing a role in the deaths of both legends. But in later years, Eminem shifted the narrative. For example, in 2018, he dropped the scathing diss track Kill Shot, aimed at Machine Gun Kelly, who was signed under Diddy's Bad Boy Records at the time. On that track, Eminem suggested Diddy might have been involved in Biggie's murder. This mix of accusations has left fans debating who Eminem really believes was responsible. And every time an unreleased song like Smack You surfaces, the conversation flares up all over again. In Kill Shot, Eminem draws a sharp lyrical comparison between his mentor, Dr. Dre, and Machine Gun Kelly's former label head, Sean Diddy Combs. In one controversial line, Eminem references long-running rumors that have circulated in hip-hop circles for decades, without claiming them as fact. He raps, "I will not fail, I'm with the doc still, but this idiot's boss pops pills and tells him he's got skills. But Kells, the day you put out a hit's the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out that got Pac killed." While the line sparked intense conversation, it was widely interpreted as provocative wordplay, not a literal accusation. Eminem never expanded on the lyric publicly, and the track itself is known for its exaggerated and confrontational tone, common in rap battles. Interestingly, Kill Shot was released on September 14th, just one day after the 22nd anniversary of Tupac Shakur's passing. That timing led some fans to speculate about deeper meaning, but again, no evidence has ever supported the implication. As for Sean Combs, he has never been charged in connection to Tupac's death and has previously dismissed similar theories as unfounded. Over the years, he has repeatedly declined to comment in depth about the topic, calling the speculation baseless. Following the release of Kill Shot, Joe Budden, who at the time worked closely with Revolt, a network formerly associated with Diddy, claimed Diddy had seen the lyric and was aware of the attention it drew. Budden said Diddy chose not to respond directly and wanted to move on from the narrative entirely. In Budden's words, "Puff said it's in his hands and that's the end of that." While the line in Kill Shot created shockwaves, many fans see it as part of Eminem's aggressive rap style, using controversy to fuel lyrical competition rather than statements of truth. Diddy never issued a public response to Eminem's Kill Shot, and to many fans, his silence raised questions. Some interpreted his refusal to address the lyrics as intentional, especially as attention around the topic continued to build. Not long after, the release of the documentary Murder Rap, based on former LAPD detective Greg Kading's investigation into the deaths of Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G., rekindled public speculation. Around the same period, Diddy appeared on The Breakfast Club. During the interview, co-host Charlemagne attempted to ask about the claims raised in the documentary, but Diddy visibly avoided the topic. He interrupted the question before it was fully asked and made it clear he wasn't willing to engage with any conversation involving those allegations. The moment was brief, but fans picked up on the tension. But Kill Shot wasn't the first time Eminem had referenced or critiqued Diddy in his lyrics. In fact, Eminem had name-dropped Diddy as far back as the mid-90s. On a 1996 track titled Effin' Crazy, an unreleased cut from his early catalog, Eminem rapped, "Original bad boy on the case, cover your face, came in the place, blowed and sprayed Puffy with mace." By 2000, when Eminem released the Marshall Mathers LP, he took another jab on the track, Marshall Mathers, spitting, "You little groupie, get off me, go mess with Puffy." By this point, Eminem had firmly established his reputation as a fearless and outspoken figure in hip-hop, someone unafraid to challenge powerful figures in the industry, regardless of status. His lyrical style was confrontational, controversial, and deliberate. Later that same year, on the track I'm Back, Eminem continued this pattern, directing a line toward a well-known public figure, closely associated with Diddy at the time. Though the lyrics were cloaked in double meanings and dark humor, they contributed to Eminem's growing reputation for pushing boundaries and addressing cultural taboos through shock value bars. Over time, Eminem's references to industry heavyweights, including Diddy, have been interpreted in many ways, as competitive jabs, artistic expression, or calculated provocation. Regardless, they've remained part of the reason Eminem has consistently sparked debate and headlines for over 2 decades. Finally, on the track Antichrist from the same 2024 album, The Death of Slim Shady, Eminem once again takes a jab, this time with a line that many interpreted as aimed at Diddy. He raps, "Next, Diddy had asked me, is getting ass beat worse than Diddy did? But on the real though, she probably ran out the room with his dough." The bar continues Eminem's pattern of provocative wordplay, weaving in cultural references and coded language, which fans continue to dissect for hidden meanings. Over time, it's clear that Eminem has shifted focus in how he addresses long-standing hip-hop controversies, especially when it comes to the unsolved murders of Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G. In his earlier years, Eminem's lyrics often suggested Suge Knight bore responsibility for the violent outcomes of the East Coast-West Coast feud. But more recently, some fans believe Eminem is shifting lyrical attention towards Sean Diddy Combs, though always through ambiguous wordplay, not direct accusation. While Suge Knight's role in the East versus West Coast hip-hop scene. West tensions during the 1990s has been widely discussed. The suggestion that others may have played roles behind the scenes has also surfaced in documentaries, interviews, and speculative commentary over the years. Eminem's lyrics echo those wider cultural conversations, often blurring the lines between commentary and character. It's crucial to note that neither Suge Knight nor Diddy has ever been officially charged in relation to the deaths of Tupac or Biggie, and all claims remain speculative. Now, it's over to you. What's your take on Eminem being one of the few artists who stood his ground during some of hip-hop's most dangerous moments? And how do you interpret his evolving lyrics that reference both Suge Knight and Diddy? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't miss the next video where we dive even deeper into this era of hip-hop history. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss what's next.